Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah. If you didn't know that, it's the year 2035 because that's how long it feels like it takes me to upload a video. The last video I uploaded was probably more than a year ago, so I'm not very good at this, but it's time consuming. I don't have a lot of time, so that's why. But anyways, this video is going to be a lot different, very different from the normal videos. When I say normal videos, I have like 3 videos, but from the other videos that I've already uploaded, and that it's not going to be about like makeup or beauty. So if you're not interested, wait another year for my next video, I guess. But there's a lot more that goes on in my life other than just makeup, even though that is a really big passion of mine. So I just wanted to talk about the other things that go on in my life, and the other major thing that goes on in my life is school. Particularly, it's going to be about the Step 1 exam. I feel like that word is like Voldemort's name. Like nobody wants to hear it. You shouldn't think of it. You shouldn't mention it. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. So if you're not interested, sorry, not sorry, go somewhere else. But I don't really have anything else to say. I don't even really know what an intro is, so I guess I'll just start talking about it. I'm not trying to discourage anybody who's watching this before they take the exam. I want this more to be like an uplifting video for people who have already taken the exam, because it was a traumatic experience. So I guess I'll just kind of start from like a little bit before the exam. I don't really want to talk about like how I studied or whatever, because that's not what this video is about, and I study different from everyone else, so I don't really think that that's super helpful. Also, there are tons of other resources for you to look into and kind of figure out and develop your own schedule. At my school, we have 6 or 8 weeks of dedicated study time, which from what I've heard is a little bit more than which is a little bit more than other schools, which is nice-ish. Yeah, I say nice-ish because 8 weeks is a long freaking time, and I didn't think, like, as I was studying, I was like, oh my god, it's coming so fast, like, this is too much, I'm gonna delay. But then around like week 6, I was like, somebody please scoop my eyes out with a spoon, because I am so done with this and I cannot look at another freaking sketchy video or read another page of the dang first aid book. That's how I felt. But I did not delay, thankfully, and in retrospect, I feel like that was a great idea, because I think I really would have ended up gouging out my own eyeballs, and then not ever taking the exam. So, ew. I scheduled my exam in a city other than where I go to school, for the main reason that I don't really have a lot of like support here, since most of my friends were going to be taking it elsewhere and taking it at a different time. Yeah, I was like, wow, I really don't want to take the exam and be miserable and then come home all alone. So I ended up taking the exam in the city where my boyfriend lives. That way I had some support to go home and cry to. Or, you know, I mean, it already happened, so I know that that's what actually happened, but in my mind. So I had somebody to like celebrate with, or to cry to, or project my feelings and emotions onto, even though that's not healthy, but whatever. That was my thinking, so that's what I did. The testing facility was a little bit outside of where he actually lives, because he lives in a suburb, sort of ish, whatever, I don't know. I decided to even get a hotel in the first place, because I was like, you oversleep 9 alarms, you cannot be late for this. So that was why I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a hotel room. Worst case scenario, I can like sprint there and still be on time. My exam was scheduled at 8 a.m. I think most places are. Don't quote me on that, but I think most exams are at 8. I think I woke up at like, I don't really know what time I woke up at. I want to say like 6 or 5:45. I'm going to use that time to just focus on myself, take the time to get ready. Got ready, got coffee. As much as oh my god, I was so sick of caffeine. I was like, if I have to drink another caffeinated drink, I'm going to vomit. because I woke up every day and I went and got coffee, at a different coffee shop, and it was like, oh my god, every day for 6 weeks, I'm freaking tired of coffee. But I did things just like I had been doing. So I got breakfast, got coffee at the hotel. Thankfully, they had like a little place where I could purchase breakfast since I wasn't home to make my own. I also bought lunch, snacks, whatever I was going to eat the night before, because I didn't really know how it was going to go. So, I packed that, and then I left for the testing facility, got there on time, blah, blah, blah. It was freezing cold, hated that, made me very angry, but whatever. And as soon as I stepped into the building, it was like instantly just, oh my god, my body released all of the cortisol that it could possibly produce, and I was so sweaty and I was so nervous. And then I got there, and everybody there was like way older than me, and I was like, oh my god, am I in the right place? Even though, like, where else? I don't know. I was clearly at the right prometric place. I feel like prometrics are pretty standard in their procedures, because that's the whole point of having them. Checking in and whatever, signing in and blah, blah, blah is a pain in the butt. I feel like I'm trying to enter into a new country, and I didn't bring my passport. Like, I feel like that's how, not ridiculous, because I understand the point of it, but, like, tedious. So that happened. I sat down, and I was honestly so freaking nervous. I guess unless you've had some sort of like clinical or like extensive medical experience outside of medical school, from like previous career or whatever, I don't know that you're ever gonna feel like, yes, I'm so ready to take this test. And maybe that's a super, super horrible assumption, and like other people are really awesome and they study their butts off and they're like ready to go, but that was not me. Oh, I was freaking out. I don't even know the right word to describe it. It really sucked, because whenever I was taking the practice exams, I had no problem with my timing. Whenever I did like UWorld questions, I didn't have a problem with timing. That wasn't an issue. And then whenever I took the exam, I was so freaking behind on my timing, and I was like, literally, what? Why? The day of the exam, here I am not being able to finish a dang section on time and leaving like 4 questions blank. On the first section didn't go well. And I think on the next section but between the first section and the second section, I should have taken a break to really pull myself together. And also, as a side note, it was freezing in there. My feet were frozen, so I was really uncomfortable while taking the exam also, which really sucked. On top of it being like negative 12 degrees in the testing facility, I had a gnarly headache that day. It was also that time of the month, so yeah, but I'm just being 100% honest. I felt like shit while I was taking it. Ate lunch, went back in. It's like you're in the freaking Twilight Zone, because you don't know what time it is. There were no windows. I couldn't figure out, like, I don't know, I just felt so disoriented to time and space. I got to like the 5th block of questions, and at that point, there were definitely a couple questions in a couple blocks. So maybe like 4 blocks that I didn't get to answer, like left blank because I completely ran out of time. And then a couple more questions that I didn't get to go back and like reanalyze, or, which I mean, you shouldn't anyways, but where I was like thinking about it, it was taking too long to get through. So then I skipped. So I didn't really get to finish completely thinking about it in its entirety. Whatever. So there were a couple more of those. So I'm like, dang it. So there are so many questions that I'm like missing out on, and I just started freaking out. Literally started crying during the exam. Granted, I think that was partially due to the fact that it was that time of the month. But yeah, I was like, not bawling, but I was having a breakdown in the middle of the test. Well, the middle of the second half of the test. So yeah, I'm like crying and everything's going horribly. I'm like, I don't know any of these questions, and I feel like none of the stuff that I studied was on here. And I was so flustered. Like, I just wanted to stab myself in the hand with the marker. I think I got over my like little emotional fit for the last block of questions of the exam. I think that last block actually went okay. I finished. I don't know whether I was relieved or whether I just wanted to die. I'm not really sure. I think it was a little bit of both. I think it was the relief of finishing the exam and feeling like completely defeated that made me want to die even more. And that's not something to joke about, and I don't mean it in seriousness. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I really felt horrible. I mean, horrible after the exam. They handed me the little printout, and she was like, "How was it?" And I'm like, "How was it? What kind of question is that?" You know, and in retrospect, that's like a pretty valid question to ask. But I was just like so broken and sad. I was like, "How dare you ask me that question?" Got my stuff, left. Literally the second that I was like out of plain sight, just started bawling. I was like crying and crying and crying. And I walked all the way to my car and I sat there for like 10 minutes and I just like, yeah, I just cried. I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, got home, everybody was asking me like how it was. My boyfriend asked me, his mom asked me, everybody asked me, and I'm like, it sucked, stop, just leave me alone. I just kind of laid around for a little while, and then my boyfriend took me out to eat, and that was nice. My boyfriend said something about me taking the exam that day, and even the like waiter and the hostess ended up asking me how the exam went, and I'm like, I literally can't get away from this. I was pretty honest when people asked how I felt. I was like, yeah, I feel like shit. And, you know, it really was like the most disheartening experience that I've ever been through. So, yeah, the next couple days were really rough. I, like, in my heart, when I left that exam, like, when I clicked that last question, I said, end the exam, I was like, I failed. I was like, I got, like, a 110, you know, like, there was no convincing me otherwise. There was no getting around it. Like, in my head, I was, like, really, really honest with myself. Like, wow, I failed. And it was horrible, you know? That's why I cried for so long. Because it wasn't just, like, a really bad experience where I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done better. Like, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do that again. So, yeah, I was like, ooh. I was really on edge. But next couple days got better, and then I was planning to go on vacation with my boyfriend to go visit some family out of state. So there was something to look forward to, and I think that's also really important. So, you know, getting away from that kind of environment, so going on vacation or, you know, going on a little trip or spending time with friends or, you know, doing the stuff that you didn't get to do while studying for the exam, I think it's super important to take your mind off of things because it takes a whopping 3 to 4 weeks to get your dang score back. And everybody was like, oh, just forget about it, enjoy your time, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you clearly have no idea what this feels like. Because it's hard to just put that in the back of your head, like, oh, I failed the exam, like everything's okay, you know? That was really hard to do. So it did take either 3 to 4 weeks. It didn't take any longer than that to get my exam score back. They're released on Wednesdays. I actually was too scared to open mine on Wednesday, so I opened mine on Thursday. I woke up and I stared at my laptop and I was like, I'm gonna freaking do it. And I made sure that my dog was not in the room with me in case I needed to yell or like kick the air or punch the wall or something, that she wasn't gonna be scared. And then, of course, I forgot my dang login stuff for this stupid NVMe site because who remembers that? So, like, the anxiety and the anticipation were, like, getting to me, and it was, like, I feel like the inside of me was shaking like a little chihuahua. Got logged in, whatever, and it said, like, score report available. I took a deep breath, clicked it, kept my eyes closed because I was too scared to open it. Saw my score, and I, like, wanted to scream, I wanted to yell, I wanted to, like, jump for joy because thank God I passed. Don't know how. By the grace of sweet Jesus and every other God in the universe, I managed to pass, even though I had convinced myself that I didn't. I think I was a little bit shocked. Oh, well, I mean, I was very shocked. So I think I was in a state of like denial or like confusion because I was like, they uploaded the wrong score report. That's not mine. You know, I like triple checked my name. I was like, okay, what the heck? Like, they really sent me this score. Are they sure? Are they positive? Because I think this is the wrong score. I met my goal, which was really nice. I think, you know, the more you start to think about it, you always wish, like, man, if I would have done this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I would have answered, you know, those freaking 10 questions that I left blank, like, wow, you know, what score would I have got? But can't change anything, whatever. So then I called my boyfriend and, you know, let my family know or whatever. And it was okay. And even though every single person who told me, you've been studying your butt off, I'm sure you did fine, I was like, no, I didn't. And you don't know what it's like. Lo and behold, everyone was right. I didn't fail. I did fine. So really the whole point of me making this video, and I'm sure it's super long and you probably don't want to hear half the things that I had to say, but it's just, I think sometimes it's really nice and encouraging to hear it from somebody who knows what you're going through. And even though I don't go to your school, or maybe I do go to your school, which is kind of weird if I know you, hi. But, you know, it's really nice to hear from somebody who actually has gone through it and is going through it at the same time that you are. Because I know, like, you hear from other mentors or other professors, like, oh, I'm sure you did fine, like, I did okay. And you're like, sir, you took that exam like 50 years ago. Like I said, I just wanted this to be a little bit of motivation, or like kind of like a heartwarming message to other med students who are taking the Step 1 exam, because it's a rough one, not gonna lie, but it's fine. You're gonna do fine. Whether you reach your goal score or not, you're gonna become a doctor. You're gonna be awesome. You know, standardized tests are really scary because I feel like we really use those to dictate how we feel about our like self-worth, which is really unfortunate because we're a whole lot more than a test score. The most amazing doctors aren't the ones that always get 260s or 270s. They're the ones who are really passionate about medicine, passionate about helping and serving people. That test, as important as it is not indicative of like your value and your whole life's worth as a person. So just remember, while you're waiting for your test scores, or if you're watching this right after you took the exam or whatever, if you're watching this before you take the exam, it sucks, but just know you'll get through it. You'll be fine. You'll be a doctor. You'll get where you want to be. As cliche as it sounds, everything is gonna be okay. And I don't know that I have anything else to say other than I hope that everybody else does not have a horrible experience. I don't wish that upon anyone, and I hope the best for everyone. Good luck to anybody who is going to take the exam soon. For everybody who just took the exam or took the exam relatively recently, take some time for yourself. Enjoy the things you like to do outside of school. And you did fine. You're amazing. And yeah, you'll get where you want to be. If you liked this video, awesome. If you are a medical student or like a pre-med student or like, I don't know, whatever, let me know like where you're from and how your experience was. You guys have an awesome one. I will see you in another year. Just kidding. I'm really going to try to put up another video, but it's not going to be pertaining to school, so I might not see some of you next time. But anyways,